So, what are some of the biggest challenges that you see impacting the trans community in this election cycle?
This election cycle, it's a lot at stake for us, as it has been on every election cycle. So it's nothing new for us, but it's even more bigger this election cycle because we have someone who's trying to come in and create dictatorship that's already on, the front lines, letting us know what's to come. When we're looking at Project 25, who I only read a bit of it, but I mean, we have a nice portion of it is dedicated to trans identities, right? So it's a big thing at stake. It's a thing that our lives depend on it just as well as our bodies. Everything depends on it at this point.
What are some of those key issues regarding the LGBTQ plus community that you would want, the next administration, the next president to really address and really help to fix?
Absolutely. I would love the continuance Roe v. Wade overturning because we are definitely deeply rooted in that. I would love, the book ban to be, national, not allowing states to independently, ban books in areas. I would love, bathroom rights for that to even, come up off the docket. I think that that is a senseless thing to even bring back to for us to revisit continuously. Sports. That's another thing. I'm a woman of trans experience, have been since I was 13 years old. You cannot make me think that my strength is still of a man. You cannot. I mean, it's just impossible for you to make me think that I'm 40 years old at this point. So, I mean, it's so much compounding things that needs to be still be brought to the forefront.
How has this ever-changing political environment that is in a lot of red and more Republican areas focused on attacking transgender rights changed your organization's directions or priorities, or has it had any impact on that?
Well, I think for me, yes, it has amplified us up to be more intentional with our offerings. Looking at that, we have become a safe haven for people to come across state lines to receive HRT. So we are a safe haven for people to come across state lines and receive emergency housing, that are fleeing from other states, right? So yes, it has. It has made us amplify, our offerings up to make sure that our siblings across the country know that they have somewhere that people love them and that, this is a space of safe haven, So yes, we have amplified our services up. We definitely have made sure that we are more intentional, about our services and making sure that people know that it's not just for Chicago, it's for anyone. And if they need help getting here, we try to find ways of getting them here as well.
A lot of the work that you guys do is associated with legal and medical and social assistance for, the community. What kind of role do you think community organizing plays in supporting targeted communities?
I think that volunteering, I think that, when we say what kind of role, I think that, reaching out to grassroots organizations, asking, where's the support that you need? It's so many facets of areas in grassroots that need those hands, from marketing to, opening the front door and welcoming and greeting people to enrolling people into, Medicaid or insurance navigation, helping someone navigate housing, it's many facets that you can help grassroots, and I hope I'm answering this question correctly. It's many facets, but it's all about you reaching out and you're being that comrade or that ally to say, hey, I know that this population and group of people, need someone to stand up and be a voice for them. How can I do better?
How do you compare, the community organizing and its impacts in comparison to like state legislature laws and rulings that kind of support those communities? Where is the kind of distinction between the two groups?
Absolutely. So I, I'm currently a part of the Health and Human Task Force appointed by Governor Pritzker, which was an honor to be a part of. And being a part of that task force has allowed me to bring a voice of transness, non-binary, and queerness to a table, right? And as we will continue to work through some of those policies through the Health and Human Task Force, through many facets of the Health and Human Task Force, I was able to help, open perspectives of, hey, are we looking at this from a diversity and inclusion? Are we making sure that we're looking at this and being intentional, as we crafted a new plan, which should be coming out soon. I think that those ways like that, and when we are allowed to sit at tables like that, when we are asked, and I hate using the word allowed because these opportunities should always be open to have representation at tables. I think that it moves far beyond the grassroots when we are asked and when we are intentionally asked to sit at tables where policy and changes are made.
How do you think that the media and public figures can work to help uplift LGBTQ voices during a time where their rights are at the very forefront of legislative efforts to in some areas criminalize the existence of trans people?
I think that the media, if I be honest with you, I think that the media could be more intentional. I think the media has come a long way. I'll say that. I think some media networks have come a long way. They have come a long way with respecting trans identities in LGBTQI plus sector. I think that they could be do more. I'll say this. We have gay pride on June of every year. And I just told a friend the other day, I said, I watch this parade every year. I never attended, never been in it. We tried to get in it this year, but we wasn't able to. But I watched the parade and I said, oh wow, what would that be like if I set up there as a co-anchor with them, right? That's what I mean when I say that. Like if we had more representation, as yourself as a journalist, I went to school as myself for broadcast communication, right? Imagine if we turned our TVs on and we had more representation there. I think the issue at hand and why trans people constantly become the bottom of the totem pole is because people have yet to understand that representation matters. You walk into somewhere and someone say, "I never seen you here." That's the issue. Because if you never seen me here, then that means that somebody like me needs to be here. The representation needs to be here. And I think that the media can do better with more, even public figures. I think that it can be better when representation is there. When I say representation, I mean representation that people that actually care, because not all kin folks are skin folks.
What are you personally, but also your organization's hopes for the future of LGBTQ rights in politics?
My hopes in the future is that we treat it like everyone else. My hopes in the future is that we are respected. Our history, is honored. I have this new phrase is that they're trying to marshapia us. And someone asked me, what does that mean? They're trying to silence us. That's what that means. You know, I see a future where we are upheld and we are normal just as everyone else. And we're not a part of the issue. We're part of the solution.